Woodsville, who's off the bit at the 600 mark from Fremont. Similarly, the case being ridden along from Wayside, then Saker, and a length and a half to Terra Force's Cut Snake. Calls it a day and drops out to last as they start to set sail for home. 400 left to travel in the first, and over on the inside, Fath Noxious having to be stoked up by Tan. Just can't shake off Infatuated for the moment. It's going better than on the inside, Fath Noxious. A length and a half, Wayside looming up behind them, and then a further 2 lengths to Saker. Infatuated ran to the front though with 150 left to go. A length clear of Wayside, who's plugging away, and the same can be said for Saker, but Infatuated, who's backed up marvellously well from last weekend. Too good for them. It came clear late, Infatuated, to beat Wayside, Saker, and then the tiring Fath Noxious. In behind them, Fremont, Terra Force, Woodsville, and a long last is Cut Snake. Number 1, Infatuated, Lucy Warwick. A good ride once again. Lucy rode a peach here yesterday. Got the money on Trap for Fools, where she was able to dictate, and again she's just got that timing back. The mechanism is back, certainly ticking over like a Swiss watch there, because she was able to drop right behind Fath Noxious, allow it to do the muscle work, drag it into the race. Sat pretty much 1.5 off the fence, but almost in that slipstream of the leader, and then easily gathered it up after heads had turned for home and put the race beyond any doubt. Wayside, it plugged to the line. Saker was also a pretty similar type of run. Fath Noxious weakening back there into 4th placing. They've run some time. They've run 1:35.91. 1:35.91. Infatuated, the one that punters were all over in the first event, into 240 and $1.10. Wayside 220, Saker 170. The winner is by the ill-fated Fath out of Paris Hart, raced by Horse Rail Australia's Ben Duncan, and that's the horse's 7th win from 24 starts today. He's got a really handy strike rate, trained by Justin Warwick and handled by Lucy Warwick. Wayside, the Carnarvon Cup winner of last year, 3rd run in, improving with racing. Trained by Robin Todd Harvey, by Choisir out of Ginetta. And 3rd money to Saker, who's by Commands out of Dawn Attack, ridden by Dan Stake for the Fred Kersley yard. And then Fath Noxious 4th and Fremont 5th in. 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. And that pace really on through the early and middle stages. So much so there that the last 600 is 37.08. Now, race 2, the C Corp handicap for the 3-year-olds over 1600. Number 2, Verve de Vega, is the scratching. 10 to start in the next at 1:54. Well, he responded well, Infatuated. He's now had the 3 runs in 14 days. Started there where his second up record isn't great on the 4th of March. They put the blinkers back on him last Saturday, and he came back to 14. He was back to a mile today, and at his 4th run in has proven too good for them there. He lacked nothing in the way of fitness going into that race. Justin Warwick prepares, and he's down there at the moment with Adam McGrath.
Justin, we spoke to you before the race and just alluded to that this guy's doing nothing wrong. It's just the program's pretty tough to fit in now, so he'd be happy to get another win in the career.
Yeah, he probably went better than I thought he would as well. I thought the pace would be pretty genuine, and it certainly was. He was sort of happy enough to... He normally pulls pretty hard, and the leader was setting a pace that was sort of he was comfortable at, and the others that didn't have any weight behind him sort of ran out of gears. So punters were right. I thought he might find it tough from out there. We
saw his toughness because, as you mentioned, they did get home in pretty slow time, so there was a lot of work done through those early stages.
Yeah, I think the clock said 37, so just goes to show how quick they went early.
What do you do with a guy like this moving forward now? You mentioned to us at the start that probably not up to listed company. There's not too many 78 pluses. Do you just keep going to 72s and maybe chuck a claimer on and try to just get another win for this career?
Yeah, I think next week there's a 1500 72 plus, so obviously he'll get 61 kilos, so we'll have to claim off him in there. But he is just short of the listed races. At the moment, the sort of the horses that go around Man Bookers and things like that are running around at Bunbury tomorrow, he'd really need them to sort of go for a spell or something like that to sort of fit into it, especially at the 1400 metre mark. But might even try him over a little bit further as things go on.
Well, as you said, the 72 1500 next week, or if you decide a 72 14 in 2 weeks' time, so a couple of options there. Vein Striker coming up. What chance do you give this horse today with Lucy on board as well?
Look, it's not the strongest bunch of 3-year-old fillies put together, I wouldn't think. No disrespect to whoever wins the race, but I think we'll go okay, so probably She's deriving benefit. She's getting there. I'm probably a month or at least 2 weeks behind most of the other fillies and where they're going, but there is some natural attrition happening with these fillies that are going around, and I think it's a matter of just surviving and staying in these races. I think she'll go better than she did last week.
Quietly confident. Great to hear, Justin. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Justin Warwick there. We'll grab Lucy Warwick now as well. Lucy, who said riding was hard? Back-to-back wins on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. Lindsay put me on a really nice horse yesterday, and I'm very grateful I get to ride Dad's nice horses, so it's great to be back in form, if I can say it yet.
We mentioned to your dad going into this race, two similar horses, probably very strong-minded, light to bowl out in front, and you were going to have your hand went out for you. But just seemed to, I guess, with the speed of Fathnoxious, you got to cruise a bit easier than you may have thought.
Yeah, definitely. He has his own mind set up before the race, what he wants to do, and it was great that she was out in front, Fathnoxious, and she just wanted to bowl along, and he was quite happy to just stay where he was. And as soon as I got to the straight, he was cruising, and that's sort of how he goes. He's just one-paced, and he gets a little bit quicker each sectional, but not much.
The most important question, you having fun?
Yes.
Great to have you back, Lucy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Adam.
Lucy Warwick there, winning jockey aboard of Infatuated, which has taken out race number 1, the 1600 metre event, a 72 plus here at Ascot.